About the movies?
Yeah, I mean the movie you've been posting about lately. You've been saying you gonna produce.
Oh yeah, yeah. I executive produced, wrote, uh, had a little role in, but that's really like my third short film that I was a part of. But the last one I wrote, so it was a little different. The executive producing part, it's a little different. But man, the guys that worked on that movie with me, the guys, the ladies, everybody that worked on that movie, man, the chemistry was crazy. It was unbelievable what we came up with. But it was a sci-fi thriller. So we wrote a movie basically like the sheriff of this town in Virginia is the descendant of plantation owners. You know what I'm saying? So his demons come back to get him. In other words.
Oh yeah, because you can't give it away. It's too short to be given away.
Yeah.
But that's a cool concept, you know, especially for those.
His demons came back together.
That's a cool concept for those who live in Virginia and understand like that's possible.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's like how much possible that really is.
It's really like that. You know, with them owning the plantations back in the day, that was a lot of tobacco, and they still, you know, a lot of them families still benefit from those times. You know what I'm saying? In the nicest way I could probably say it. But so that's one of the premises of the movie is that he's selling the land. The sheriff is selling this plantation land because he having nightmares about, you know, shit that he never seen in his real life. But his great grandfather was a plantation owner. So, and the sheriff is racist as fuck too. Like he's a piece of work. But you know, he got a lot of power and shit, and it's kind of crazy because when we were writing it, you know, it was hard to get somebody to play that part. So shout out to my guy, man, that played that part, man. He did an amazing job. And it felt like, I mean, for me, I was really the only amateur there. Everybody else there, they have resumes for acting and stuff like that. And the cast, the crew and all, man, they've been doing it. So I felt blessed that they, first of all, liked the story. And then we all embellished on it, and man, if we could put everybody on there as right as we would, because everybody really helped write it, you know what I'm saying? But I just had me and my boy Chris, we had the basic story for it. Shout out to Lex, man, Chris Gaither, man, thank you for that, bro, because he told me he was going to write a scary movie, and I was like, man, you tripping, bro, put that shit down, you high right now. And then 2 years later, you know what I'm saying, with the help of Drew Famous and a couple other brothers, man, Day Off Films, we made it a reality. I can't wait for it to come out.
You know, yesterday somebody was telling me how they visualized something a year before and then made it happen in that, you know, in a time frame. So it's just like, I just wanted to share with those who listening that your idea might take some time. Just, you know what I'm saying, see it all the way through for sure.
Man, just stick with it, and man, stick with it. Stick with it. It's going to be a lot of things in your mind that make you not want to do it. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of people that tell you can't do this shit, man. You right. What? You ain't never wrote no movie before. But, you know what I'm saying? Spike Lee at one point had never wrote a movie before either. Tyler Perry was at one point where he had never wrote a movie before.
Right.
So, man, you gotta jump out there with that first one and make it happen.
For sure. And so, man, that's what I'm saying. That's interesting too. And then you hit me just one early morning talking about you want to do the soundtrack for the movie, and I'm like, of course, you know that like that's exciting. Yeah. You know, people don't even really be thinking about soundtracks no more. Soundtrack, you know,
Man, the last. Remember when they used to make good soundtracks like Boys in the Hood,
Above the Rim. Yeah.
I mean, classic soundtracks. You go back and listen to them now, and I swear to take you back to that time period. You know what I'm saying? If you're old enough to be weary of what was going on around that time, it takes you right back to that time period. And that's what I really tried to capture. Like, although I was kind of biased and I wanted to use all artists that I know, right. You know what I'm saying? Guys that, you know, we have relationships and we've done songs together. because I knew all of y'all had something to say when it came to social justice. So, man, we got young artists, we got a little bit of everything on the soundtrack. And that was fun to do too. I had never even thought about that before. I'm really not even on it. I don't have no songs on there. I'm just acting right now. Fuck that rap shit. But hey, no, I'm not on it. I'm not on it because I think I did enough. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, with the movie and just writing in it and being in it. So I ain't want to be on the soundtrack too. That's crazy. And I know all these dope artists in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? That got really, really good music that I'm trying to promote. A couple of the artists I managed on there. John P, Swab Cobain, you know, my guys. Shout out to NYA. Money Menace. You, sir. Mr. Romales is on there. My cousin Doc. Oh, the soundtrack, wicked, man. It's wicked. It's wicked. I know I'm forgetting somebody. They gonna be mad, but y'all know, bro. You know.
You putting that joint with the diamond in the nose one on there? You putting that on there? I just know that one got a lot of energy, so I can.
It do got. I hadn't even thought about that. Oh, okay. I was really trying to keep me off of it.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm just trying to figure out which one you was putting on there because you know. I was just making sure, you know, you feel me? But I do, you feel me? Hey, look, send me something.
Oh, you know what I did put on there? I put on the song, White Man's Head, the song that means.
That's on there?
Yeah, that's on there. That's the only one I got on there. And that had a lot of meaning. It had a lot of meaning to it. You know what I'm saying? Both side verses. But we got a video coming out to that too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We ain't gonna spoil it for him, but
I was gonna play it, but I was like, look, he got plans with that joint. I know he do because he ain't gave me the final. You feel me? I was just gonna play my side. You know what I'm saying?
You can play that song though. Yeah, you can play the song all day. The video not ready.
Oh yeah, I don't have a video at all. You know, I just But you know.
We going. Thank you for that too, man. That beautiful feature. That made the song, bro. That really took it to where I wanted to take it. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the thing with executive producing. Like, I'm a fan of a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? That I do business with or do songs with or I manage. I'm fans of all y'all. So sometimes I hear a song and I'm like, damn, I know who would go perfect on this song, or I know who would fit this type of vibe, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because the soundtrack it's not really all about the movie. It has its references, but really I tried to make a good solid album out of, you know, different artists and pick, you know, try to pick the right beats and give you a little bit of up tempo, a little bit of slow down, thoughtful, relaxed kind of music. Try to, you know, and then put them in the right order. And then shout out to my little cousin Tommy too, man. K.I. He helped a lot with the score of the movie. You know what I mean? Which was a whole different thing, like trying to come up with scary sounds and piano and violin without the beat. You know what I mean? So, but he did a dope job. He played Kunt in the movie too.
You know, I was gonna ask you about the score too. I definitely was because I felt like I say, the reason why I asked if that one song was on there, just because the energy. I know you're gonna have to be. There's gonna be a climax scene somewhere in there, and you know, I was thinking if it's not gonna be something like that, will it be a score? But you answered it before I even ask it.
You gotta build it up right. Because like scary movies. I mean, there are gory movies. Like you think of Final Destination and shit like that. Like they're gory movies. We were trying to make something that was a thriller that has those moments where, you know, it makes you jump in the theater. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully one day we'll get the, well, I know we will. We're going to put it in the theater one day and just sit back and watch it and really get the full vibe of the sound of the soundtrack. But I did a lot of research. You know, I probably watched every scary movie that I could think of. Not as I was writing it, but once they told me that it was a possibility, like we had a production meeting and people were like, yeah, and there's wardrobe and lighting, and I'm like, what? Okay, so now let me try to research not only for how to make it come out, but for my acting part in it too. I was, you know, doing a lot of research, but it's those soundtracks like Jaws. That shit is about a shark, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of the scariest movies, you know what I'm saying? Most iconic scores ever because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is a shark coming? You ain't supposed to be scared of that shit if you're not in the water. Right. But the music builds up. Friday the 13th too. That Jason and that little signature shit like that. Man, I studied a lot, and we watched a lot of. I watched the Jordan and Peele. I watched their scary movies. I watched shit, man. Everything that I could think of, old and new. You know what I'm saying? I know I didn't get through everything, but I watched the Halloweens, I watched the classics, I watched Scream, and just tried to, see how they build it up. Because sometimes there's not even nothing scary in the build up, but it's that, oh shit, what was that in the corner? And then, but the music adds to it so much. It's like you can't have one without the other.
Yeah, I just watched Us like 2 nights ago.
Like, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't even get it the first time. I don't think I really was paying attention.
I didn't get it the first time either. There was a lot of symbolism in that shit.
Yeah, I wasn't even really paying attention the first time. Like, it was parts. It was like when you gotta watch the whole thing for sure, because it was parts that I was missing. Niggas just had it. I'm in their crib. They over there. They got it. You know what I'm saying?
You watching a little bit of it.
Yeah, you feel me? So it was just like, we really sit down and watch it, because you know what it's about. You kind of seen it, but you ain't, I'm like, damn, this shit kind of deep on the side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially because you kind of know what you're looking for. But when the movie gonna come out, bro?
We registered everything today. It'll be out. It'll be out around the Halloween time. I want to. Probably a couple days before Halloween is what we aiming for.
Oh, they ain't bad at all. Y'all moving fast.
A couple days before Halloween. We definitely, hopefully by next year, we got it on Netflix during Halloween or Hulu or one of these big channels.
You gonna put it on?
Link if anybody listening to work for Netflix, make sure y'all check this flick out.
You can probably get it on Amazon too, man. Don't forget about Prime. Prime coming up.
The soundtrack's gonna be on Amazon Prime too, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. That's now we started writing the next one. I started writing one called Agony. It's about a teenage girl, and she has an imaginary friend. And the imaginary friend be telling her to do some wicked shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, called Agony.
You ever heard of Lila and Eve?
Huh?
You ever seen that movie Lila and Eve?
No, I never seen it.
It was with Jennifer Lopez and Viola Davis. Watch that shit.
Oh yeah. I think I did. Well, no, I haven't seen it, but I might. It's been a while.
Hey.
But I heard of it. Yeah.
It sound like that. That's why I asked. But check that joint out. Yeah. Like, but you got the Mr. Brooks vibes going on with that one with the imaginary friend.
Yeah, she the only one that can see him type shit. I had a niece. My niece had an imaginary friend. Like, shit, all her life. And we used to always laugh about the shit. So, but there's a lot of scary shit that goes on with that. So, I actually talked to her and asked her, could I write that? You know what I mean? Could I write this story about, I don't want you to think I'm making fun of you and no shit, but I think we can, this I would even love if she played the part of the kid with the imaginary friend. But yeah, she can't. She's the only one that sees him. She's the only one that hears him, and he makes her do some wild shit. And a lot of this is true. Like, I know that's been done. Well, I kind of thought about Ghost. The movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze. I thought about like the classic one, but there are movies that have that synopsis kinda, but I got a little twist to it at the end. I can't even really. Yeah. So I ain't even wrote the end. Well, I wrote the end at the beginning.
Yeah. I think a lot of these style of movies, not just the horror films, but a lot of different style of movies where you be like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. Like Ghost was just a part of pop culture in general. I don't think they had like a version. I mean, they did have Ghost, they had Bill Cosby shit, whatever, but that ain't Ghost at all. But what I mean is, like, I think that they need our perspective on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think Drew was trying to do like something with the superheroes when they were doing Batman vs Superman. He was like trying to do the Meteor Man versus Blank Man joint.
Yeah, remember? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought that was a hell of an idea.
Yeah.
I was with it. I was like, yo, that shit would be dope as shit. But yeah, to get our perspective, because one thing Hollywood's lacking, man, is new writers, new thoughts, new ideas. That's why Netflix and these channels are blowing up so much right now, because these are a lot of independent people. you know what I'm saying, that are putting these shows together that people get hooked on. These are first-time producers and directors, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of them that shit just hit. You know, people like their story or like how they write or how the story's written or how they shoot. You know, how the angles of the camera. You know, when they shoot, that makes shit scary or peaceful. It's a lot with that I never had a clue about until I got a chance to really be on set and watch some of these geniuses work firsthand. Man, shout out to everybody that worked with me on Terror on the Rapper Handle too, man. You guys were great. And we're already, there's a couple of other movies that we're working on too, besides the one I was just telling you about. Like, it's a lot of writers. So we kind of come together and help each other finish stories. And yeah, but I definitely got a really talented group of people with me, man. So that's a blessing. That's a blessing. And get somebody to believe in you, you know what I mean? To believe in you enough to take their time out it's a blessing, man. I'm super excited. I can't wait to see it.
Oh, you said it's called Terror and Rappahannock?
Yeah, Terror on the Rappahannock.
That's pretty. That's kind of professional.
Yeah. You know, when Roots first comes on, it say Spotsylvania County, 1848, whatever year that they put on there. But when it first comes on, that's what it says on the movie Roots. So that's kind of what we was like, damn, that shit was here. Like, that was where we from. That was in Virginia. So researching for the movie as we were writing it, me and Drew went to the graveyard the grave site of a slave that well, you know, Kunta Kinte was like a story. He wasn't a real person. Well, he wasn't a real person, but Roots was a story passed down from Alex Haley. So some of the characters are not, you know, it's not all true, but doing the research, we found out that there was a slave that tried to escape 3 or 4 times, and they ended up cutting his foot off so he couldn't get away. And they referenced him as his name was Hoppin' Bob, which I hate to say because that's some racist ass shit, but that's some fucked up, low key, I mean, dirty. Like, damn, you gonna cut that man's foot off and then call him Hoppin' Bob. But yeah, rest in peace to the brother, because we went and we found this grave site and trying to imagine what his anger was like or what his disposition was towards all of this shit. Of course, we have ours now, but wondering what he was going through then, that helped too, you know what I mean? That gave us the courage to shoot some shit like this. Because there's a lot of symbolism in this with police brutality and society in general and how they treat us. You know what I mean? It's like we kind of got a chance to get revenge, you know what I mean, on screen, I guess I could say. But just to write that. So it's like, you know, something happened to you is one thing. Something happened to somebody else. Do you feel that shit the same? That's what I think the biggest problem with all of this is, like, you never been through this to have an opinion. Some people.
Right.
I don't gotta say who some people is. You never been through this shit to have an opinion. I really don't care if you think that this shit is supposed to hurt me or it's not supposed to hurt me or, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? There's always an excuse of, well, Kaepernick wasn't that good of a quarterback anyway. And fuck all of that, bro. This shit has been going on for too long for y'all to keep trying to spin it to something else. So it's a lot of duality in the movie of like what we going through. How would you feel if that shit was you? You know what I'm saying? In a sense, like, it's different when it happens to you.
I definitely be thinking about, like,
everything's funny when the shit happens to somebody else.
Yeah, I would definitely be thinking about, man, if I was a slave. I'm like, yo, if I was a slave, I don't know what level I'd have took it to being a slave. You know, I envision myself being a dead one, to be real with you. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story, you know.
Yeah, I be thinking the same thing, bro. I don't know. Look in the drawer right there.
But you know, I don't know. Do you see that? You see that movie Annabella?
No, I didn't see it. I heard about it, but I didn't watch it because it came out right when I was trying to finish. You know, right when we was trying to finish up what we was doing, and I heard it, and I'm like, fuck, this is about Sky.
Yeah, so it's not even the same thing at all. But just to tell you that much, because I don't want to ruin that movie for you. But it's some wild shit though. You definitely need to see it. You know what I'm saying? You definitely need to see it.
I'm definitely going to check. I'm glad you reminded me because after we finished shooting, I forgot all about Annabella. They was talking about another movie that everybody was watching, but
yeah, it's one of them throw off movies, man. It definitely throw you off. So you know, you jumped into the movie lifestyle real quick, and you know, I know you to be for real. I know you to be more of the manager than the artist, but once I met you as a manager, you pumped out like 3 or 4 joints real quick. Like that's you be like, yo, that's what I do. So, definitely met you with Drew, and Drew explained to me, to my understanding, you were signed in the '90s to Def Jam.
Yeah, I was signed. Yeah, I was signed in the '90s to Def Jam. I had an independent deal with a label a label from around here, from the DMV. I'm not gonna say their name, but I had an independent deal first, and being with them got me seen a little bit, got my record in the stores, and then Def Jam basically bought me out of that contract. But well, I ain't gonna say it didn't go well. I learned a lot, but nothing ever happened. I felt like I was compromising more of myself than they was paying me for type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really have no regrets with that. My integrity and me owning my shit means more than shit the world hearing it to me, because it's really my therapy. But and I had a deal on the table with Universal, with a group that I was in called The Foundation. Shout out to Tony Rez, SP the Old Boy, the whole Lil Benny, Big Slim the Brawler, Twin. Yeah, we had a nice little mixture of DC, Maryland, and Virginia rappers in this one group. Universal wanted to sign us. I walked away from that deal. You know what I'm saying? They probably hated me for it, but we all friends again now. Rest in peace to Tony Rez. But yeah, we had a deal with them that, it just, the business shit never really, they wasn't talking the numbers I wanted to hear. I was a little younger, but man, it feels good to be independent, man. I got my peace of mind, and I still have fun doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people do this shit to blow up. I just do it just to release my thoughts. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? I don't really put, I don't put a price on me finishing my painting. I just paint this picture, and that's it. I walk away from it, and I go on to paint another one. I don't be like, oh, are people gonna like this, or did I make it? Because I don't get into what's faddish or none of that shit, man. I'm what I would like to say is a true artist. Like, I just paint the picture as I see it, and that's kind of it. You know what I mean? I don't really do it for accolades and no shit like that. It's nice to get paid for what you do, but God has blessed me with other ways to hang in there, support my family and stuff. So, yeah, you can have that. There, bro.
That's all right,
Can you
bro.
Can you go over there, please?
It's plenty of people who never even get the experience, even if it's not the ideal one that you see. Like, that's another one of my themes is, like, making it or being successful is not only what you see on TV or only making it to TV or only getting to that point. It's about being able to do what you do, like you said.
Yeah, comfortably. And finish. And my goal was never to sell 1 million records. You know what I'm saying? It was just to most of the stuff I do has a theme to it. You know what I mean? After I get the theme, it's like, okay, now I can focus and concentrate and try to put it together. But it was always like just to finish the project. Just to finish the project, and being the perfectionist that I am, like, I want everything to sound exactly how I want it to sound. I will stop that shit and go back and do, so I know why labels push shit back, because I've been pushing my own shit back.
Right.
I got a joint Loud Noises that should have been came out. Like, I recorded this shit at the beginning of the quarantine. Mm-hmm. But things have happened since then, and I wanted to add something here, but it's just finishing that. After I finish it, it's like, I'm done. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what comes, because my whole purpose was to finish it, not to make people like it or not to, you know what I mean? If they like it, they like it. That's cool too, but that shit will never make me paint more or paint less. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to paint the picture. And I don't know what it is, man. People say I'm a dreamer, but, man, you get a lot of people, I hate to be cliche and say hate, But you get a lot of people that down talk what you do as an artist. So all artists out there, man, bro, keep striving because you're going to go through real life shit too. There's going to be times when you can't practice your art. And there's going to be things you go through in life where it's not everybody, even artists that are on, quote unquote, on, or you see all the time, bro, they go through their shit too. You know what I'm saying? Sure. It's not, real life happens. That'll make your ass stop writing, or you can't write for a minute, or you got to focus on something else before you can focus on your craft and your art. Because that's what it is. But those moments and that shit that you go through, it just make your shit better, man.
All the time.
If you're one of those people like you are, sir, that put real life so vivid in words that somebody else can see it and hear it and be like, damn, I've been through that. I feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's from your heart, it's going to touch somebody in the heart somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere, man.
And it's crazy you say that because, as much as I get props on my shit, bro, for the longest time, I even say all the way up until my last joint. My last joint was when I really knew that I didn't really care what anybody thought about it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, dead serious, bro. So it's like...
Game Sold Separately?
Yeah, Game Sold Separately. That one is the one where I felt like... By the way, it's available on iTunes and Spotify and all the things that you like to do.
Man, go get it. I'm rocking with it every day. Look, I actually meant to wear my shirt today.
I figured you would, but I ain't even tripping.
But I never made it back to the crib to get it. But when we talked about doing this interview, I was like, I gotta wear the shirt. But yeah, man, I support it. It's a dope EP. Really thoughtful.
I listened to it on repeat. I listened to it on repeat for the first time today, like without any critique to it, just listening to it, and I still liked it. And I just knew that.
It makes you want more, right?
Yeah, it do. I'm like, I'm about to make songs. I have to make more. But
we're not going to say what that made me, but it made me knock a couple songs off my project.
That's all right. Hey, look.
Because I was like, yo, it makes you want this shit so dope. Like, it was on repeat in my car, and I had a nice little trip. I think I was going to, me and my girl was going to the airport. I don't know, one of us. We was going to Baltimore, and I had a chance to like, digest it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Yeah, man. Loved it. I loved the project. Y'all go get that, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this gentleman has been on shit. My last 3 projects that I recorded, he's been on. I just say that. And I don't ask nobody for features. I don't even, because I just, not that I on no arrogant shit, but that's like, I don't be wanting to bother niggas. But every time I send you one, bro, I don't know where you be at or what you do, right? But every time I send you a joint, man, within a week, I get the joint back. It's like, boom, I got you. You've never taken longer than that. You may have changed one and resent it, but it's always like, boom, I got you. And I don't worry about that song no more. I get to working on other shit. Next thing I look, I got the song in my email. But because I was like, it's a lot dealing with artists sometimes. Even some of the artists that I manage, you want songs done at a certain. It's a lot with that shit. So to ask somebody to do a feature for you, it's heavy.
I love it. Like, to be honest with you, bro, just them 3 times too. Them last 3 times. You just caught me at my hungriest points. Like, I felt like they all was one hungry point, but the way you were catching me was just like, yes, I do want to jump on something right now. I got something I need to say. I don't know what I need to say, but I'm a... Yeah.
Like, God did that.
I think I did. Hey, for real, I think I did that feature while I was recording the Love You Too Hard song. Like in that process around that time, I think I was. It was right around that. It was in that same week. I had dropped I did like 3 joints that week, and that was one of them. And it was just like when you hit me, I was like perfect timing because my wheels turning. Wheels turning.
Crazy. Watching bills pile so high, they need to pop a pill. Woo!
I can't.
White man's ear. Y'all look out for that video. That's me, the road man, weak man. Hey, y'all know it. Listen to the words, bro. Everybody, the beat is cool, but man, listen to the words, man. We talking that shit on that, man.
Hey, bro, when you hit me, I already know who listening, bro. You feel me? Like, you listening, or listening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got, you feel me? Those type of things hold me until I see them again. You feel what I'm saying? Hold me until I see people. Like, for real, bro, like, that's another thing I wanted to ask you, you know, when I was asking you about the Def Jam thing. I wanted to ask you, like, your era is like that era before mine. You were in you were in immersed. Like, I was a fan of Child. You was in the DMX, the Onyx, that hyper era. Like, and the reason I use DMX and Onyx, you remind me of, that's how you seem like you was back then. You feel what I'm saying? Just based off of how wild you are when we link up.
I was.
You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, hey, Hugo Fat, but my boy Hugo Fat is watching this, and Eric Garrett watching this, or my man Ted C. Mike. If y'all watching this, bro, you heard what he said. Yeah, I was a knucklehead. I had all gold teeth and all of that shit. And it was crazy. When Onyx came out, I was actually stationed in Germany. Right, I was in the army. This was after Desert Storm. I was stationed in Germany. So when Onyx came out, man, I already had a bald head. I already was, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that shit came out, bro, we was over there knocking Germans out of the club when the slam came. They didn't know what the fuck hit them, bro. We was over there wild like they had heard the song before. But that was it, man. Yeah, Onyx was crazy. DMX, shout out to X, man. He always been one of my favorites. He one of my top 5. I don't care. He did so much so fast that it was so inspirational. You know what I mean? He had that thing. But it was crazy back then, man. Cause you make a diss song about somebody, you gonna have to see this nigga somewhere, bro. Right. It ain't gonna be them typing back and forth. You gonna see him at the next show, the next wherever. Because it was a small community, even though it was a big community, but it was kind of, you had to see these people. You got to go to Cali. Man, you hear the stories now about when Redman and Stir Bass and then went over to Cali and MC Hammer was like, nigga, what was up with this shit you said on that record, bro? Like, all that dancing shit, man, it was different.
Yeah, but MC Hammer from Oakland, too, so I can imagine what type of person he was.
Yeah, if you know anything about it, if you ever been around, man, you already know how Oaktown. Shout out to Oakland, man, all my homies on the West Coast, bro. But, because I be everywhere, so I be seeing like, man, y'all think this shit over here is sweet. Man, it's always a place in every state of the United States where, man, you gotta be on your P's and Q's at, bro. Yeah. You gotta, if you I don't want to say street, but if you keen to the street ways and you can, you know what I mean? Because street sound like a bad thing, but it ain't always bad if we came up the way we came up. But to be able to take from it and learn from it and shit to still be here today, man, that's the blessing for real. Because, it was a lot. We didn't have a lot of cameras and shit, you know what I'm saying, back then. Like, shit that man, I've been in ciphers with some of the greats. I don't even want to mention no names because niggas gonna be like, I've been in ciphers with some of the greats.
I mean, you obviously been in the building with some of the greats, so I can use my imagination. But
yeah, man, I've been, but and we had them ciphers where they look at me after the cipher and nod like, nah, nigga, you from Virginia? Where you from again? DC? Nah, you from Virginia? Like, but we didn't have those social media outlets to be able to show all that. And be honest with you, now looking back on it, I'm glad that we didn't have that shit because I wouldn't want to see myself young, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It was a memory for me, the people that was there. Man, Georgie, Twin, he Stay Puft, the old boy, man, that foundation, that group that I was in, we did it. We did it. We did it from New York we did it all over the country, man. We did it. Texas, Florida, we performed everywhere in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's a group from DC that was kind of unheard of.
Right.
It was unheard of. This was before Question Mark Asylum. This was before Section 8 Mall. Shout out to Section 8 Mall too, by the way. Down, because it was all DC. Like, wasn't nobody rapping in Virginia. Everybody was trying to be in the go-go man. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nobody. Right. So I felt like a loner. So now I look, and unlike a lot of people my age, man, I embrace all the young artists, man. I love y'all, bro. I be looking at that shit like, damn, this feels so good to not be alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to relate because we from the same place, and I know you personally, and I'm like, damn, that's his story. You really telling that shit. You know what I mean? Like, it feels marvelous, man. I applaud everybody doing it, man, because the hardest thing to do is to put yourself on a record, a rap or whatever, and then let other people listen to it. Let people that don't rap listen to it, just so they can be like, you know, man, you all right.
Yeah,
you ain't like Nelly. Well, you ain't like Nelly. I'll be like, Nelly? Yeah. Shout out to Nelly, too.
Man, I was about to say, I fuck with the first Nelly jump. That shit was hard as hell.
Hard as hell.
Hey, look. That shit was hard.
I was in one of them videos back in the day, right?
For real.
Say which one, yeah, man. Yeah, Nelly was a good dude. Well, still is a good dude, but it is what it is, man.
Hey, bro, you done hit a couple of spots. You done been to the military. You done been out in a couple of buildings of Def Jam, and you shooting movies.
I've been to war. I've been to Desert Storm. I've been to all kinds of shit. Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been around for a minute, man. Soaking it all up, man. Trying to share this game.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. So, look, you being in that era before us, who was your inspirations that, like, led you to write and rap?
Woo! Wow, okay. Okay, it started with Run from Run DMC. That's how old I am. It started with Run.
That's why I wanted to know, like, who gave you that.
Bro,
hey, I was like, oh shit, why should I fuck that?
Yeah, nah, it's over here. It was Run from Run DMC. I went to the Fresh Festival when I was a kid. I used to break dance and do graffiti. I've just been hip hop all my life. I tried to DJ for a minute. Shout out to my cousin Bilal. He used to help me DJ,
Hey, bro, I used to do graffiti, bro. And my little brother a DJ because my father wanted to be a DJ. I wanted to be a DJ first, but I just started rapping, and then rapping took over. Rapping really took over for me, bro. Like, it was a way that I felt like I could use the stuff I learned in school.
Facts. Yeah, I was a baby boy. My cousin Bilal wrote me a rap. I did it at a talent show, and the reaction I got being a kid rapping was like, oh shit. I'm like, damn, I kind of like this shit.
Yeah.
So I went to the Fresh Festival back in the day. Had Run DMC, LL Cool J, Houdini, the Fat Boys, UTFO, the Real Roxanne. Jermaine Dupri was a breakdancer back then. He was a little kid, used to breakdance and shit. So they came to Richmond Coliseum, and everybody rapped or whatever. I was in awe. And when Run from Run DMC got on stage, he was like, we had a whole lot of superstars on this stage tonight, but I want to tell y'all one thing. This is my motherfucking house. Shout out to Jam Master Jay, rest in peace. And the crowd went nuts. I was probably, I don't know, 10 or 11, bro. And I'm sitting in and it seemed like it was just me and Run. And bro, he was like, whose house? And the crowd was like, Run's house. He was like, he had so much arrogance. He had so much bravado with him, bro, that it was like, yo, I want to do that. I want to be that guy. Like, this nigga's cool as shit. Like, this shit would be, I've never seen nobody control the crowd like that. So Run initially started it. After that, when it came to writing, when I started writing a little bit on my own and be like, okay, I could do this shit a little bit.
Hey man, we love the kids. Everybody parents on there, they definitely gotta understand that.
Redman and Big L had a lot to do
A lot of people.
Redman and Big L.
Lot of people.
Redman was, that was my guy.
A lot of people choose Big L. A lot of people choose Big L, and Big L died like right as I was getting into it. And of course, like to be honest with you, was the beginning of me getting into it. Big L was definitely a part of what people would make me listen to. You like, nah, you try and be like somebody, you gotta be like Big L. Yeah. Big L just like, that's crazy. We still talking about him. That's how you know.
Day, right? Yeah, Big L was. He made it look easy.
Right.
You know, Biggie had that shit. He made it look easy. Like, he made that shit look like it wasn't a lot of thought for that to it. He just thought of this cool shit to say. But, man, Big L was, he was another animal. Big L, Redman, Rakim was always inspirational. Gucci Rap, Big Daddy Kane, and Slick Rick.
I used to listen to... Big Daddy Kane was probably one of the first songs I ever heard, like rap songs. Big Daddy Kane and MC Shan. I don't even know what song it was, but it was my aunt had a tape, and it was like my first introduction to it, and I was like, yo. And then it just really took off from there. And that I asked you this because I'm like, man, you know, back in what day? Who had the writing style that you call me about all the time, talking about like, man, yo, the way you write, like, you know, the only one, it's like my style is a writer's style. Like if you are, like I write for writers, you feel what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like, so it just be like that. That's what made me ask that question. And my father, I remember like when he started that I was starting to write rhymes. The first song I ever like rewrote, like just to write it down, because we didn't have lyric websites and shit.
Yeah.
So I wrote down "If I Ruled the World," and my father was like, "Oh, you writing down rhymes?" He gave me a Rakim CD, and it was the jump where it was the double disc, and it was called the 18th Letter. That's what it was called.
Oh, wow.
It was called the 18th Letter. Now, mind you, bro, my name starts with an R too, so it's like the 18th letter. I'm like, yeah, this me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the only thing, I feel like that was one of the only things that really could relate. Like, you know, that was for me. My name was so weird at that time growing up. I was just like, bro, I ain't got shit that represent my name.
Rakim produced a lot of them tracks too, bro.
Right, that's crazy too.
He produced a lot of them tracks himself too. Yeah, Rising. That's the guy to me. I mean, he was the one that he had the voice. It was everything. It was like, man, you listen to that shit now. Even back then, it was like, whoa, he was way ahead of his time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was way ahead of his time.
They made a movie off of one of his songs.
Yeah, Paid in Full.
Yeah, like.
Rakim is definitely the god, man. He's. Oof.
And so what was cool about that double disc too, bro? Like the first disc was like new shit, and the second disc was like the greatest hits, old shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was stuff that like you know me being like,
I ain't no joke. Yeah. Listen to my check out my melody.
Yeah.
That shit, I never forget that. I got that album for Christmas one year. It had him and Eric B on the front cover with them big Dookie ropes on and them fucking Gucci sweatsuits and shit. I was like, yo, I've never seen nobody this cool before. At this point, they was like, yo, man, Eric B and Rakim. And he put the DJ name first. That's real hip hop right there.
Yeah, man. You know, I always told my brother because he grew up to be a DJ, and I'm like, bro, we gotta do an Eric B and Rakim because you my brother, bro. Like you a DJ and I'm a rapper. We gotta do it. We gotta do it.
Who else did that? Oh, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
The Fresh Prince name wasn't the first, bro. It was DJ Jazzy Jeff. Probably one of the best. Well, that's the GOAT.
Hey, the DJs used to be part of the group.
Part of the thing, yeah.
Like,
everybody had their own DJ. I remember UTFO back in the day. They used to all dress like they had the educated rapper. He wore a suit. They had Kango Kid. He wore Kango. They had Doc Ice. He really wore a doctor suit with a stethoscope. Like these niggas had gimmicks, bro. But it wasn't no corny shit. We thought this shit was cool back then. Now saying it, like this nigga wore a doctor suit with a stethoscope and everything. I think he might have had one of them headbands on with the light shit. But and then they DJ. We used to wear a ninja suit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But man, you see them brothers perform, man, they used to give a hell of a show. They wrote that UTFO wrote the song Roxanne, Roxanne. And that's probably because y'all probably never heard of this shit that we talk about. but
I mean, I heard of Roxanne, Roxanne. I know that song.
My Roxanne, Roxanne, which got two responses from two different, the Roxanne that they was really talking to, and then, who was the real, and then Roxanne Shante, who didn't know them at all, but heard the song and heard her name and did some MC shit and made her respond.
Yeah, I watched that Roxanne joint on Netflix. I definitely watched that joint.
Oh, the Roxanne Shante story? Yeah.
Bro, listen, bro, when it comes to that hip hop shit, bro, I don't really talk to so many people about it because I can get so deep. Or just I studied it. I'm a true student. I'm a true student of that shit. Even like I feel like I want to go to school so I could be a hip hop historian, real teacher.
Hip hop historian. I told somebody that the other day. I was like, yo, I'm a hip hop historian. But yo, that could be a job. I don't see why not.
Yeah,
but you know what? I could tell in your lyrics. I could tell in your music, not lyrics. I could tell in your music that you a student of the game. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, you appreciate good lyrics and good, you kind of sponge that up on your way through this journey. You know what I'm saying? You listen to all this, and you kind of, but yeah, like I told you that you reminded me a lot of Scarface, just the way that your music made me feel. You was like, yo, I never really listened to Scarface. I'm like, what? Like, yeah. I mean, besides, Smile and the hits and the shit that we talked about, but you got a lot of that inspirational shit with you. And inspirational don't mean it gotta be a Christian song but inspirational is just something that somebody hear and it's like, whoa. Like, yeah, that shit is what I'm going through right now. And it gets you through, man. Music gets you through. Music, the only thing that don't change, I mean, they think it changed, but it really don't change because it still controls moves.
Yeah.
It controls the 7 beats. Like no matter what's going on, music can make you sad. It can make you cry. It can bring races together. It can make, you know what I'm saying? Like Eminem, for example. Don't nobody give a fuck that he white, bro. He dope. Mm-hmm. That shit cross all color barriers. Across that shit. Music is the only thing that does that, man. Nothing else does that. Politics don't do that. Religion don't do that. Nothing does that. Business don't do that. Military don't do that. Church don't do nothing does that, man. But music, it brings everybody together. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. It'll be, man. There's people of all different races listening to Michael Jackson shit. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Still to this day, all over the world. Like what made that? That's music, bro. That's not him. I mean, it's him, but that's not. It's music. That shit is it's all inclusive.
And then it's like a lot of music is like the theme of that time.
Yeah.
Like that. Like certain music be
like the Chronic or Doggy Style, Snoop's album. Yeah. That was during the Rodney King riots. I'll never forget that shit. Because they captured that time.
Hey, bruh. And it's crazy though because these things that you like, and that just show you the age gap between us. And you call me young still, and people, I'm at the point where the younger ones are calling me old. And
they start calling you up and shit. I be hating that shit.
Nah, I ain't got there yet. Nah, I'm getting a lot of big bros. I'm getting a lot of OGs and big homies and big dogs.
All that kind of shit. I was at my homie, my boy house. I ain't even gonna say his name. I'm at this nigga house, right? He talking to some little bitch on the phone, and He like, yeah, my old head over here kicking it with me. I'm like, yo, old head. I immediately picked up the phone and called my girl. You like, what you doing? I ain't nothing over here talking to this young dumbass nigga.
Hey, yo.
Talking to this young ass nigga that don't know shit. He a baby.
Right.
Like,
hey.
Your old head. It made me feel like a pipe head, like my old head over here buying crack or something. Like, what you mean your old head, bro? Tell him I'm your man, and we just friends, dog. That's all it is.
Right. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, I'm not your OG. We ain't never did shit together, bro. Stop putting me in that complexion.
Yeah, that's funny as shit.
Yeah, that shit funny, but yeah, I be laughing at it, man. Like I said, bro, I'm blessed to still be here. I be forgetting how old I am sometimes, to tell you the truth. You do that, though, when you live in life, man. You gotta, man, we only here one time as far as I know. So, I ain't gonna leave no stone unturned. I'm gonna do everything I wanna do while I'm here. Every fucking thing I think of that I just go out and do that shit because ain't none of us promised tomorrow. We don't know, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what the fuck gonna happen, but I don't want to die and be like, you know, taking my last breath like, damn, I wish I had wrote a movie, or I wish I went on and followed my dreams, or nah, I'm gonna do that shit so they can put on my tombstone. He did it his way.
Right.
I'm gonna do it my way, man. Cause whether you broke, whether you got money with, none of that shit matters at the end of the day when you chasing your dream. I done been up, I done been down, I done had a lot. There's been times when I ain't had shit. But one thing that never stopped was the artistic side, being able to write it down, being able to express myself through that, and maybe not a lot of other crazy shit I would have did if I didn't have that outlet to be able to release. This is what I wanted to say to this and that, and what's going on in the world. Man, that shit is priceless, bro. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change none of this shit I did, none of the deals I turned down. I wouldn't change none of that shit, man. Cause it all, you know. All I got a plan for I'm watching it happen. I'll be like, damn, I'm gonna do this. And I just put it out there and fuck around and do it. You know what I mean?
Hey, here we are.
It's possible.
It's
possible. Yeah, here we are. I remember turning down the Universal deal because I was about to get evicted, bro. Like, we had been on tour and they ain't getting no fucking money, dog. Right? So I came home like, nah, I'm not going nowhere else. Fuck y'all. But I'm the first verse on every song with this group. This shit was crazy, bro. Niggas pooled up money and paid my rent for me so I could go back on tour with them. And I ended up walking away from that shit because I'm like, if they gonna treat me like that, I got a baby daughter at home, you know what I'm saying? I'm married, I had a wife and shit at that time. And it's like, how the fuck I'm supposed to be out here doing this shit and not getting no money? This shit wasn't right.
Right.
But God worked in a mysterious way. I walked away from that shit and came back and did my little independent thing on the side, but, you know, helped raise my daughter, who's now a fucking rapper. Go figure out who the fuck, you can't even write this type of shit. It's like,
I was gonna get there, but we had such a good conversation. I was getting there for sure. But since we there, how does that feel that you did this, you did it your own way. You got that experience that anybody that I know that ever done it independent just studied the game. You actually experienced the pitfalls that we all try to avoid. We hear a lot of those stories where people are like, man, yeah, I was there. I went on tour and I did this and I did that. It didn't pan out the way it looked. You know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time. With the talent that I have, with the talent that I've always had it, whether I liked it or not, or whether I wanted to accept it or not. You feel what I'm saying? With the talent that I have, it wasn't. If it didn't happen, it wasn't meant to happen that way. It literally wasn't meant to happen that way because I had to go learn how to own all that, and you know what I'm saying? Because you can sell music like lemonade for real if you make lemonade and sell it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just all it really was to it. Versus, like I said in the other joint, I ain't really start rapping to get a car. You know what I'm saying? I said that yesterday. I ain't really start rapping to get a car, but it was just like, of course you want to, when this program needed your head, you want to fast forward to the jewels, the not having not the $1 million, you know what I'm saying, and all that. And of course, as I got older, bro, like you say, Doggy Style came out, I was 5, bro. I was the young little kid wanting to be the motherfucking hustler. You better ask somebody. That was me. Versus the niggas that I had to ride home with or be with. That was Snoop. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even Snoop yet, but I was that little nigga. Like, I want to be a motherfucking hustler. You better ask somebody.
You know who that was?
Bow Wow.
That was Bow Wow, bro. Yeah. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? That you better, and look, what my show called, you better ask somebody.
You better ask somebody.
You feel me? Like, it's crazy how things come around like that. But, you know, just growing up, I'm like, yo, this ain't happening the way that I wanted it to be, you know. And it never discouraged me. I never got mad because I always felt like, when I was 25, I was like I had got close. When I was 20, somebody wanted to basically rape me in a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, and one of the things at that point, I still was young. I didn't even know what I was talking about, but I did know. I said, hey, I ain't gonna sign nothing until I get somebody to read it that nobody know what this shit say other than me. I know numbers. I know my numbers was like, the thing was about it, I was putting out music like Wayne. Like 60 songs in like a month, 2 months. Yeah. And so when a dude had, you know, probably now that I'm older and really understand the situation, the nigga had some paper he was trying to put behind me, and you know what I'm saying, he had some connections because usually people with paper have connections. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, and he basically wanted 5 albums, 12 songs. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you get this percent, and then as the albums went, you got lower. But you know, first of all, when I read the joint the first time, like I say, all I knew was that somebody else had to look at it. I didn't even know why. I didn't know nothing else. But
this shit ain't right though. Somehow,
like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, I didn't even think it wasn't right. It was just more so I'm like, I'm gonna make sure somebody look at it, because if I sign this, my pops and everybody that's smart in my family gonna look at me like, nigga, you're supposed to be smart. What are you doing?
You really do that? Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So okay, so cool. Well, the deal was like 60 songs, whatever. And I'm like, man, 60 songs. I'm like, bro, I could do 60 songs in like 2 months. I could do a song a day for 2 months, and that'll be done. Easy. In my mind at that time, bro, I was pumping. Yeah. Like, Wayne inspired me to do that. And you know what I'm saying? Because he was pumping. I'm like, man, and at that time, in my mind, I was competing with Wayne. I'm like, fuck that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, he say he the best rapper alive. I feel like I can run with him. He put out some shit. I'm putting out some shit.
I've been there. I've been in that mode. You know what I'm saying? I can't even remember who it was I was competing with. It might have been Jay. In my mind.
And that's who he was competing with. You feel what I'm saying?
He was competing. Yeah, it might have been Jay. And Master P. Master P has always been a big inspiration to me, just because of how he handled all of that shit. He changed the game, really. Yeah. And everybody didn't get him. A couple people got mad. You know, they got them independent deals there, but he changed the game because he got in, he got out, he got into other things. You know what I'm saying?
Like you seem to be doing.
Yeah.
Like
got in, got out, and now I'm looking for I'm looking for artists. You know what I'm saying? I really got a lot on my plate, but I got other people helping me with it. But I'm looking for anybody dope from VA right now. Yeah. It don't mean you have to be from VA, but that's just what I'm looking for, because I'm trying to do something bigger than just 1 or 2 people from here. I want it to be a whole wave. I want it to be a whole different community of motherfuckers that don't sound like nobody but us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I think like that we can spread worldwide easier, and I think economically, when we all start getting money like that and we sharing it with each other, producers and rappers and movie writers and video, and then all the people that we know, we put all that shit together, we can't be stopped. It's putting it together the hard part. So, shit, somebody got to get a whole lot of money and come back and convince everybody, like, look, I need you at this meeting, damn, and then we, you know, we get it like that. But yeah, I was kind of, it's been a process. But it was, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, so they say. I think the pyramids was though, and I think he had something to do with that shit. So we can build the pyramids in a day. We can do that. Rome can be built in a day. Shit, we shot a movie in 3. I think we could build Rome in a day.
You never know, man. You never know. It depends on how big you want your Rome to be.
With minds like ours, I think it's possible.
So I do want to ask you. I definitely wanted to ask you about the artists that you manage. I know you manage J.P. I know you rave about J.P. man, and I every time I watch him perform, I be looking at you. I be like, bro, you look like a proud dad. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. That's my guy, man. I love Jai. He's such a personable, good person beyond the music shit. He's just a good person. But yeah, man, he got something. He gets something with him, man. It's like he made me a fan, and he was the first artist, you know, besides my daughter that I ever even gave advice to. Ever even thought about like managing or anything like that. But I said, fuck it. Let me share some of this knowledge I got and get, you know, a lot of younger, out of the box thinking artists. Not even younger, just out of the box thinking artists. So along with J.P., I also manage Maurice. I don't even never tell nobody all the artists I manage on the low, but let me give you the whole team. J.P., Maurice, NYA, Not Your Average. She got some dope shit coming out. She be shooting, Twandos will be shooting her videos. Suave Cobain, who is with Smoked Out Music. Pluto Hendrix. And then I manage a couple producers. Moonstar, Chuck Will, Hefe. I got a couple other young producers, so I'm not even gonna say their names. But I got a production team. And I got a squad of rappers. Did I forget any rappers? Hold on, let me make sure I got everybody. J.P., NYA, Maurice, Pluto Hendrix, Suave Cobain, Georgie, of course, is King Kam. And then we got a lot of affiliates. I mean, shit, Drew Famous rap too. Yeah, I'm supposed to tell people that shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Him did a song a couple.
I don't know. We're supposed to tell people.
Him did a song a couple weeks ago. He came out the booth. I looked at that nigga like, for real, bro. like you really like that's, you know what I'm saying? Perfect little joint. It was some down south country shit too. We killed that shit. Me, Drew Famous, and who else was on that song with us? Oh yeah, I can't even. Oh yeah, yeah. Somebody else on the team. I'm not even gonna tell y'all. They gonna hear. Y'all ain't gonna hear all that shit one day. Man.
So you. I don't think you allowed to. I don't even think you allowed to say that Drew exists.
Did I exist?
That Drew exists. I don't think you're allowed to say.
I don't even know.
I don't even think you're allowed to say that Drew exists, bro.
Yeah. I know.
Not in public. You just gotta know Drew. If you know Drew,
he's such a ghost, bro. He's a ghost.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let I've been stealing them. I've been stealing them for the last couple of years. He really helped build this too. Shout out to Fresco Bar. Yeah, Nando. Most people know about Nando. I call him Pablo Fresco Bar. He's a business partner with King Kam Entertainment. He helps me with a lot of artist development and just try to put it all in perspective. You know what I'm saying? You can have all this shit and fuck it up. But when I came into it, I was like, I want to be the guy that don't fuck none of his artists over. Right. I want to teach them the game, get them the game. You know, we sign together, whatever, we get money together. But I'm gonna give you the game as we go on. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you should do this, invest in this, or this is what I'm thinking about. Or find you somebody younger than you, and let's keep the whole shit going. And now you a boss. Now you might be still doing music, but you young enough to have youngest under you that's coming up. Because you got to keep your ear to the street, and you got to keep that current shit current.
Right.
Because if we don't control that shit, then they control it. So I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, keep the dopest young artists that I can find with me. And and keep brothers like you around, keep Ronaldo around, because shit. Yeah, as long as I keep listening to your shit, it's like I can't retire. Like, somebody's still spitting that shit, bro. You're very inspirational.
Man.
And John P and all of those others too, they are too. Like, I should have been stopped rapping. I said I retired 4 years ago.
But you do
being
it.
around this shit, y'all inspire me. Because I never was stuck on boom bap. I never was stuck on anything. I just did whatever the fuck I wanted to do anyway. So, you know, it might be different on the trap beat, but I'm still gonna get that. I'm still gonna buy that.
Hey, look, I love beats that challenge me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never picked this shit. Y'all picked me for this? Nah, I gotta really think this. Because after a while, it gets easy and it gets comfortable and you kind of get bored. You kind of get bored with it. Some of my producers, they be telling me that. They saw these young motherfuckers so good. They like, I'm bored with it already. I'm like, what? Already? Well, you got like 30 more years.
Yo, that's, the first of all, them producers ain't never met me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about people who, that's how I feel with beats. I can honestly say, bro, my verses usually by my beats.
Yeah.
They're that serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, as I was getting into the business part about it, at first I was like, man, my verses by my beats. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Watch me turn your beat into something. But at the same time, I understand the hustle a lot more, you know what I'm saying? Because once I started putting the streets, hustle, everything all together, business, it's all the same thing. It's just a different name for it or a different avenue or whatever. It's all the same. So I understood, and it was people that I really rocked with. And so it would be like, yeah, I'm going to grab that. I'm going to get that, whatever. So you manage an artist. I didn't know that when you had King Kam Entertainment, I've been knew about King Kam Entertainment. But I didn't know that you were managing, so we're gonna have to have some management conversations because I've
been recruiting you for years.
Yeah, but I never had no management experience, so I would definitely appreciate it.
I've been watching, I watched John P for 3 years. I watched all of these artists. I've watched them for a long time before I even come at them with management shit. I just watch and just. You know what I'm saying? Be around and support them and show them that, yo, I think you fucking dope. I don't know. And then I try to figure out, like, what can we do for me to prove to you? You know what I'm saying? Let's get some money together. And then we worry about all that paperwork. Like, I don't be rushing contracts. It's a couple people I named, we don't have no paperwork. I know it's a sin. I know. We don't have no paperwork. But we got to understand it to where, bro, if I give you the game and you reciprocate it, now we friends. Now it's easy to do business like that. Because I wanted to be the one that, I wanted to be Puffy without fucking everybody over. Right. I wanted to be Master P without, I wanted to be, not Master P, because Master P ain't really did fuck nobody.
He made everybody like that. He gave them the power to fuck themselves over, though.
Yeah, he gave them the power to fuck themselves over. But Birdman, like, imagine having all that talent, right? And everybody's still together. Ain't nobody never worried about somebody took from me, because in all my contracts, the artists that I do sign, the artist gets paid directly. I don't get paid as the manager. Yeah. They got 30 days to pay me my little 10, 15% or whatever. I don't got nothing to do with that shit. And after that 30 days, I can apply a penalty, but I don't. Most of the shit from this, up to this point, I haven't taken nothing from nobody. Yeah. John get paid for a feature or a show, or Chuck Will, somebody want to buy a beat, or, bro, y'all, yeah. I'm glad that we in a position where you can make money. Now keep making that shit, bro. When it gets to the point where they gonna pay me when they feel like, you know what I mean? You gotta let that kind of shit happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do it all the way different, but I fuck with artists that, we all kind of like family. It is personal. It's more than business. Right. And just like you my bro. Like, it's different than just dealing with, I'm looking at it like an NFL team at the same time. I don't want the motherfucker that was in college that had all the stats but go to jail every fucking day. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't, don't nobody but Tupac come home from jail and make a whole bunch of, like, bro, it's not going to happen to you like that. Stop thinking that. Some of that shit, some of the niggas, they fuck their whole career. They've never been the same when they came home.
Yeah.
That's a So I don't want the problems. I just want the art. You know what I mean? I just want the artistic side. But yes, sir, we definitely can talk, man.
Man,
definitely.
It's some good artists that my friends. It's some good ones that chose that jail life. Some good ones. I ain't gonna say they chose it, but I guess they kind of did because it was in the midst. You feel me? I understand.
Yeah.
You know.
I probably know a couple that you talking about too. That when I heard them, I was like, damn, he got it. Like from Fredericksburg too. Like you fucking got it, bro. But and I don't know. Can we say they chose that shit or did that shit choose them? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Nah, hey yo, for real. Who knows?
When you got it, right? Do you know you got it? Like, I don't know if I ever knew I had it when I had it. I always look back and be like, damn, I had it then. I fucked that up. It's like it's always a hindsight. Like, damn, because a lot of people that are really good, you know, the genius in them, it's almost a tendency to fuck up. It's like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's hard to explain.
You know, I had that conversation with Drew, bro. Like, Drew met me when it was popping. Life was like fucking amazing. And of course, you know when life is amazing, the call comes to a screeching halt eventually.
Yeah, out of the fucking blue.
Right. So, it came to a screeching halt. Well, it was supposed to come to a screeching halt, but it didn't. But, of course, it started making me think. And this was right before I really focused in. And we had just really met. He gave me that same type of energy as you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will come around as far as artists. We could all be in a group chilling or whatever, but that something is different with me. You feel what I'm saying? The idea is to link up with me. You feel what I'm saying? Like just in general, like so it'd just be like so to be to the side when we having that personal conversation and we had talked. I was like, bro. He was like, yo, you gotta get to a point where you gotta decide which way you gonna go. He was like, because people like you should just simply decide one way. It shouldn't be as much of a tug as it is. And I didn't even really think of it like that at the time. I'm just trying to get bread. You feel me? Like so, I'm not even thinking about can I fuck this up.
That sounds like some shit he would say too. That's crazy.
And it was like I wasn't even thinking about it as can I fuck this up. It was like, you know, it was the quit while you ahead speech and believe that it's going to be worth it. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? And it wasn't immediately after that conversation, of course, but it hastened it. You feel what I'm saying? It hastened it. Yeah. Then I made it to 30 and I was like, you know what, bro? Bro, you feel me? Ever since I've been 30, it's been strictly professional. You feel what I'm saying? Strictly professional. It ain't been as cool and it's easy, but it's definitely been generous. It's been generous, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's let me hear. It's let me the game so separately. And I don't have that urge to make that money. So look, real shit, bro. All right, so I got a story for you real quick. Something I thought about on the way home today. Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 Cent, right? The movie, he says, selling coke, once you really weigh out everything that you got to do, is really like minimum wage or worse.
Yeah.
He said, so, but what he was basically saying is the time you spend on it, you know what I'm saying, the money you got to put back into it, plus the time, he said, if you add in the fact of how much time you get in jail,
the risks you taking, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He said, it don't even equal up to minimum wage. So, I had a homeboy, let's say he made like 80 grand a month. You know what I'm saying? We're just throwing a ballpark figure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now you're like a dub. Like, you know what I'm saying? He in that joint for a good grip at this point.
Yeah.
So, I say he probably did it for like 6 months. You know what I'm saying? That high. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's like $500,000, but divide that into 20 years. You could work for $500,000 in 20 years, making $10 an hour.
And be home. Yeah,
like, so, you know, I just was thinking about it today because I always remember that sentence from the movie. And I was like, man, you know, but then once, you know, when it happened to you or when it happened to somebody you care about or you close to or whatever, you think about all the cool shit they was doing in a short little amount of time.
All out of control. They had jet skis and trucks and all kinds.
Just whatever, just anything. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, once I put the math on it for real, I'm like, damn, man. That's you know what I'm saying? They just gave it to you all in 6 months. You could have got that same amount in the dub, but you could have came up with some shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's certain. I feel like when it comes to rappers or just people in general, when they make a choice and they know going to come to an end, like some shit you just know. To me, certain moves just. Like they're magnets, you know what I'm saying?
That shit ain't gonna last.
It's like it's a magnet, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you know for a fact it's a magnet. Like you know what I'm saying, nigga, man. Anyway, those conversations are for you know when we talk.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
I know you trying to say that.
Yeah,
I say that much.
Yeah. But it's just more so like
bro.
Just believing in yourself. Believing in yourself could really make more than you ever could know. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always gonna be like that. Because even in the game, bro, it ain't always 80 grand a month. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't always.
You take losses and man, shit happen and your life on the line doing that shit.
Yeah,
bro.
for sure.
Your life on the line, like every fucking day, because you never know, man.
But you know, I try to give everybody that props because man, it's been so many people who was knee deep, neck deep. You feel what I'm saying? Or just had knowledge like Drew at that time. You know what I'm saying? That really just man, so many people. God work with people, and God really be sending people my way, particularly. You know what I'm saying? Be like, look, I could be with 12 of my niggas or 12. Rappers or whatever, niggas be like, you separate yourself from everybody. I got something that is a message for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, bro, you know, I wanted to be.
Bro, look, I feel you 100% because God do the same thing to me.
Hey, man.
Like, I don't be checking for niggas and somebody would be like, hey, man, dude, hey, you ever heard this one? Like, I think I met you before I even knew you rapped anything. We had a whole long conversation and kicked it. And then after that, I saw you on it was a 30 for 30 joint with R.O.
Hey, look.
The verse that you did on that shit, because I saw, as a matter of fact, I saw the video. Because that's my man. That's little bro. I went and got, you know, I bought the 30 for 30 DVD and all that shit. Even I was on it and everything, but I'm always support my brothers, man. But I went over there, got the joint. When I saw the video, my phone about to die like shit. When I saw the video, I was like, yo, who the fuck? I said, I just talked to him. Man was just talking and shit. I didn't know he fucking rapped like that.
Hey,
and
look.
The day we met, we kicking it, we talking about whatever. And then, after you walked away, Drew was like, hey, yo, you know he can rap his ass off, man. I was like, word?
Why you, hey, yo.
Because he's so nonchalant.
You sound just like him.
Hey, you know he got balls, bro. And he stepped off like, you know what I'm saying, real easy. And that was before that I knew to listen to what the fuck dude be saying, because dude be on some shit, bro. He's a mastermind. And niggas like fucking, he's a mastermind, bro.
Hey, look. I remember when we met. Funny shit is, bro, the dude I interviewed yesterday, Art by Me, shout out, bro. I met him the same day I met you. We was at that joint.
He was the artist, right?
Yep.
We meet at an art show?
Yeah, downtown. It was downtown. You know what I'm saying? But
it
wasn't like a.
I thought he looked familiar, bro. He's dope. Yeah, I thought he looked familiar.
It was like, and it wasn't one of our art life events. It was like I said, we were talking about. It was like some random side event, but we was all just making the best of the situation. And you pulled up, you had some gas.
Yeah.
And the rest was history. And look, real shit though. He had like I said, he had already told me about you. And like I said, even before I even knew who you were or anything, he had told me about you. He was talking about Rico Nasty, and I was like, by the way, ain't nobody even told him the whole time. You don't even like saying names, but his daughter know Rihanna. Yeah. But yo, so my thing.
You can say the name. It's all good.
All night you've been saying you'll shout out some people and then you'll be like, you know what? I ain't gonna say no names. But bro, when we met, I already knew you was you, and when I get to certain people like yourself, I do be wanting people to like my music that I know. Like I say, I write for writers. I write for people who enjoy the craft. Yeah. I end up figuring that out later because I was also writing for trap niggas. I was also writing for the car ride. You know what I'm saying?
Everything.
But I knew that these are the times where like for instance, bro, when opportunities come, when I know my music is the deciding factor, it's like I'm so calm and collected because I know for a fact that if music is my only deciding factor, I don't even gotta tell you that I make music because you're about to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And that be the fun part for me. You know what I'm saying? Because hey bro, bottom of my heart, I know the truth about my skill set. You know what I'm saying? But
you gotta know. You gotta hear that.
Hey, look, but
they hear other people if you like.
I literally, I for real though. I don't listen to my music after I make it.
Yeah, I do that too, bro.
I don't listen to my music after I make it. You good, bro?
I do that too. It's like, cause after, it's like I'm done. It's like I don't need it. I don't want it. You know what I mean? I know exactly what I said, and then it'd be years later I'd go back and listen to it. Wow.
Yeah, like you telling me to listen to a song I made 2 years ago, and I was in a whole different space. And bro, to be for real with you, these past 2 projects, and they've been so spread apart. But these past 2 projects, I suffered some heavy losses. Like some heavy. My cousin and my sister died in them last 2 projects. And I think in between my grandmother had died, but it was just like I was just wrapping my head around. Okay, my grandma and my sister died. All right, I'm wrapping my head around that for No Hook 2. You know what I'm saying? Right as I'm about to wrap my head around to do this, my cousin died. Like my best friend cousin. You know, everybody got that best friend cousin. Like, you feel me? It changed everything about me.
It changed everything, bro. I swear. That's so crazy you say that because my sister just passed away less than a year ago. It was November 13th last year. My sister passed away, right? My younger sister.
Right.
Go to sleep and just don't wake up. I mean, just some random shit, right? Like out the blue. My younger sister. And then I lost my cousin that was like a brother to me, my cousin Ray Ray. And my homeboy, Tony Reyes, that was like a brother to me on the same day. I mean, less like 6 months later. It was like the shit was hitting me from, bro, I'm still going through that shit, but the crazy part is what you said, it changed me, bro. It changed me. It changed me. I don't know if it gave me more hunger, desire. It hurt. You know what I'm saying? It hurt like hell every day. Like, I can't even, that shit with my sister just be blowing my mind. Especially when I'm around her kids. I'm like, fuck, like, this shit, they all act like her, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. Man, I never thought I would go through anything like that. But yeah, bro, it definitely changed me, changed my outlook on life, and probably gave me that what I said earlier, like, you're not promised tomorrow, man. You gotta do what you can do.
Yeah, that's exactly where I went.
Go do that shit.
Yeah, that's exactly where I went with it, bro. Like you said, both of them were younger than me. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And I was just like, yo, the thing I felt about my sister, she got killed. She got shot. And she wasn't even
I heard that skit that's on your No Hook too.
Yeah. So bro, mind you, I was with Drew when it happened.
Oh wow.
I was with Drew when it happened, for real. We was doing some video work or whatever. And the crazy part about it is we was right down the street, and I lived like across town. But when I got back across town, that's when they told me about it. You know what I'm saying? They was asking at that point. You know what I'm saying? It was fresh, and I'm like, damn, I was just right over there. But it really blew me, and I struggled with. This is what I struggled with. I'm like, how the hell my sister, who don't do no street shit at all, you get what I'm saying? Like, no street shit, don't do everything the right way, always 2 jobs, graduate school early, you feel me? Like, that type of character, you feel what I'm saying? Who just always did the good shit. And I'm like, bruh, nigga play with the guns and the street shit every day for like 12 years. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
ain't doing nothing, man.
I be like, what? And I struggled with that. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, my thing is, when I say I struggled with it, it wasn't like I wasn't accepting it, but it was just like, make it make sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I finally make a song about God, I've been had a real relationship with God, but I felt like at this point in my life, that type of song with that type of beat and that type of ride to it, just to let you know, real niggas do believe in God. You know what I'm saying? And believe that there's reasons for things, and it's just like, you know, I still ain't really grasped that reason yet. But with my cousin, it was a car accident, some shit he didn't really be like was a passenger in, and you know what I'm saying? They for real. I mean, that's another more to it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like
my father was like, you know, when my sister passed, he was like, he kept the shit so real. He was like, man, he said, I never thought that I would ever get that phone call. That something like, he said, I always thought that if I ever got that phone call from one of my kids, it would have been that somebody shot your ass. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit, because of some shit you done did. And I'm like, damn, we had my sister's funeral when my father told me that shit, bro. So because I felt the same way. My sister she didn't do none of this shit out there. She wasn't, you know what I'm saying? She had 6 kids. She took care of her kids, man. She was Muslim, you know what I'm saying? She was trying to eat better, trying to live right. She wasn't on no bullshit. No bullshit. She wouldn't hit the J with me or nothing. She'd be like, I need it one time. I'd pass it to her. She'd be like, nah, I ain't fucking with it.
Hey, yeah, hey, look.
Really funny shit, but
hey man, my sister had some like you said, my sister had some one time. I was like, get the hell out of here! Like, it shouldn't even make no sense. It was funny as hell.
Funny as shit.
That's crazy, bro. You know, and that's probably why it's probably why you be related in a lot of ways, music wise. I even went over half an hour fooling with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't even mad though.
It's all good.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't even mad though. Look, man. Obviously, we just gonna have to have more convo. You know what I'm saying? As my show.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, man.
Because I know you probably didn't ask me everything you wanted to ask me. You was all over the place.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But that's what, you know. Like I say, that's what private conversations were for. That's what part 2s were for. And you know, I'm definitely gonna make this thing grow. I got ideas and things that I'm running with. I'm test running, and just you know what I'm saying, seeing what I like, what I see, I like what I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's natural to me.
That, nah, you know it is. And it felt like I was just talking about you are the homie, but I forgot that it felt like we was on FaceTime just now. I forgot that motherfuckers is watching this shit or so forth. But it's all good though, bro. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad. And I appreciate you having me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, thanks for taking some time out, bro.
Anytime, man. And then them other conversations, bro. We get on the horn and rap about them tomorrow.
Hey man, it's plenty of them. There's gonna be plenty of them. I already know.
You already know, bro.
Hey man, you have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too, man.
All right.
All right.